usually it's the old men who think I don't know anything because I look young. But, well, I just prove it through my knowledge and what I do.
My biggest challenge is time. Time to get things done, time to meet with people, time to do what the company wants, and to enjoy who's with us. So we try to work our time, but time is a hard thing to work. I just go to work and do what I have to do while I'm there. I learned that way back when I was a teacher. You just go to work hard while you're there, and then the rest of it falls to place.
My biggest obstacle in work in general would be getting people to commit to an advertising campaign that works for them. We want to help them as much as possible, but sometimes it takes a while to get people to commit. Giving them options on how this will benefit them, what it will do for them, and how we can help grow their business to the level that it needs to be and to get their return on their investment.
The biggest obstacle that women face is being taken seriously, first of all. If you're a man and you say it, it's a fact. If you're a woman, you have to back it up and prove it. And so we do, and there are many, many wonderful women in business, and I just like to see that people take us more seriously and pay us for what we're worth. Unfortunately, in business, if you're a man, again, when you say it, it's the truth. When you're a woman, you're being rude or obstinate. So I'm probably one of those women that people have a terminology for that's not always the nicest, but you do have to struggle a little more that way and become very firm. And sometimes, again, you're referred to as that word that we don't want to say on camera, but then also you can, as a woman, there's the great part that you can still have your compassionate side and be realistic and real with people.
The best way that I get over obstacles in business as a woman is to believe that there are no obstacles. I have a better chance of everybody else out there, if not a better choice and a better chance. So I go in through every opportunity that I have with the best possible abilities that I can get.
The biggest obstacle that I think that women face, especially in the world of consulting, is walking into a boardroom full of men and having the confidence to be able to say, my gender doesn't make a difference in this room. I may make a bigger deal out of it than they're making out of it. And being able to balance that with, I am a professional, I have skill sets, and being confident in who I am to be able to address the problems or the concerns that they have as an organization or company. The best advice I can have for you, if you walk into a conference room full of men, you just look at the situation as they are people first. It isn't about gender.
The biggest obstacle at the moment that I face in business is resourcing and finding the right resources to meet the challenges and work collaboratively with those resources to bring a positive outcome for myself and for my clients. Overcoming challenges to me is through networking with resources that already exist, not to establish new organizations or projects or to fit the problem, but to reach deep and find those resources and connect those dots.
I don't know that there's been so many obstacles as being a woman in business, and I think that confidence in yourself is the key to getting ahead and getting through your daily tasks and getting through talking to the people that you talk to daily. I think don't be afraid to speak up and speak your mind and own your thoughts. I think that so many people are afraid of their own opinion and what other people are going to think of it, and I think it's the best tool that you have to move ahead and stand out against everybody else.
As a woman in business, the things that I struggle with is, or I think is challenging for a lot of women in business, is doing the same things and being a CEO in a man's world. And it seems like we just have to work a little bit harder and a little bit. Be a little more sharp in our skills than compared to. But I see a lot of things improving and people and women that come together and really push the limits and find those strides and are doing great things.
This is a very small town, a very small conservative town. A lot of people have lived here for 30 plus years, and it's kind of the good old boys club sometimes. So I think being young and being a woman is a challenge, and I would say that's my biggest challenge here. But just having that courage to step forward and share your opinion and get out there and make a difference. I do. Be fearless and believe in yourself. It's kind of cliche on TV.
And I would say my biggest challenge in work is just a work-life balance, finding balance between the responsibilities that I have at work and my family life. Just coming to the realization that we all have the same number of hours in a day, and you really have to make your priorities.
So I'm not a business owner, but I coach women who are in business, and I would say one of their largest challenges or biggest challenge that we help coach them with is they undervalue themselves. They often come into our office and they're actually making minimum wage, less than minimum wage by the time we sit down and sum up all of their responsibilities and how much they're being paid for them.
I think the biggest obstacle for anyone in business is having that self-confidence in your idea and skill that you can actually perform and that you can make it happen. Sometimes in business you just have to be your own champion, and that can be difficult, and you can question yourself, and it takes that perseverance to really know who you are and what you can do, and that you do have the ability, or that you are willing to reach out to others to learn more and to make it happen. I think the biggest thing is go out and ask questions. Learn from other people's mistakes. You know, it's not all about hanging out and doing it on your own. It's about learning from others and others of all generations, and learn what the challenges are, and not just necessarily from other women, but also from men. So looking at the whole world and the whole picture.
Being perceived to be a bitch. I'm a strong, opinionated, big personality, and as a woman that doesn't often play well. And so I've been characterized in really negative terms because of that strength and power and courage to speak my truth and to not cower in the face of positional leaders who are often white males of a certain age. Oh, I just be me. And as I've aged, I've strived to listen better and sometimes temper the way that I present myself, the way that I interact a bit, but just a bit. Because wisdom does come with age, and that whole thing about, you know, you get more with honey and all of that. But I've always just felt that I've brought my authentic self and what I think and how I feel, and have had the courage or to be authentic and not be intimidated by men or positional power.
I think one of the obstacles that I can face is because of my age. I am older, that baby boomer, and so things change a lot, and people assume that I can't keep up with that change. And being able to show them that I'm learning and continuing to learn, I think is one of the best things that I can do with my clients as well as the public. But they look at you and they think, she doesn't understand. And there are some things I don't understand, but I'm willing to learn. And I think that's very important. I do, to be open, to really continue that learning process. I don't care if you're young or you're old, you're always learning. And I believe when you stop learning is when you need to get out of whatever you're doing. Because you always need to keep up on changes. And there's always somebody, no matter how old they are or young, you don't have to look at the older person to teach you. Look at that new person coming into that company. Because I've learned so much from our new hires than I have from our older hires. So always keep your eyes open and your ears open, your heart open.
I think that my biggest obstacle, I started this job about a year ago, and I was a stay-at-home mom before that. And so my biggest obstacle really has just been, managing my time and trying to run a family on top of being an 8 to 5. I think the biggest thing that I did is I kept quiet for a long time and just, I worked the hours I was supposed to work, and really, it took me that step to, go and talk about it. And I actually have brought my children in and introduced them to my bosses, and everyone has been really accepting, and I would really just make that step to ask for an hour off here or there, or let them know, hey, my child has, parent-teacher conferences or whatever you have going on.
Honestly, I think that the obstacles that I create myself. Sometimes I have used my own fear in order to stop me from achieving any goals, and so it's just facing my own doubts that I have and doing what I can to make sure that I face my fears and do what needs to be done in order to accomplish what I really want in life. Yeah, it would be to believe in yourself and just know that you have what it takes to achieve what you want to achieve.
Well, there's a few obstacles, but I think the biggest one would be balance between family and work. When you have children, you want to be there for them, but at the same time, you want to advance your business and grow your business. So I think finding that balance is probably the hardest thing. So just focus on your baby. Enjoy that first year at least, and then it's really different for everybody. To be honest with you, you have to. Family is most important, I think, but predominantly you want to grow your business, so just keep at it, do what you can, and it's going to be different for everybody, so it's really hard to advise.
I think mostly it's maybe not just for women, but I definitely have a challenge with the generational gap just because I am so young and I'm in a manager position with people twice my age, but this has been a great topic for it. So doing a lot of things like this, learning about what motivates people and kind of learning about different generations and what they expect and what I can do to support them.
Biggest obstacle has been it's been becoming my age. Actually, I've noticed when I am trying doing resumes and things like that, I will want to fall back to handwritten things. Getting online is a bit more difficult for me than probably younger people, and so I've pushed through that, and I've gone and taken some classes and things like that to move forward and start using more technology in the workplace. Yeah, just trying to stay on top of technology and being more open to it and instead of against it all the time.
Probably the biggest obstacle we face is just having men respect us in our roles and what we do every day.
We remain calm and just kind of keep our cool, which makes it go a little smoother.
Well, I would say more than a challenge, mine is more advice to young businesswomen that actually are in business and then decide to retire for a few years to raise their family. I think it's important that they know that their value and their worth is still acknowledged, and that when your family is raised, you can come back and have an impact, and that your experience is valued.
I have only been in this job for about a year, but I can speak to a challenge of entering the workforce. I got this job right out of college, and my biggest challenge, that continues to be a challenge, is being confident in myself and not getting caught up in thinking that just because I'm young, people are going to look down on me. And the best way that I found to overcome that is to connect to other confident women that can provide me resources and give me guidance, and that has been easy to do across the state, and I'm very grateful. I would say don't be shy about meeting people and greeting people. Everybody has an awesome story, and everybody that I've met is willing to help you and give you advice, and they really want to most of the time. So I would just say don't be shy and be confident.